He called himself a philanthropist. And I think that people that do that are very nice people. He always was just genuinely nice, always caring about me, asking me how I was, how my day went. So all told, out of my own personal money, it was $65,000, and then the account grew to it was at $110,000 when it all got frozen.
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com.
You're very beautiful. I like you. I love you. Good night.
On today's episode, we speak to a woman named Sue who is having doubts about the man she has been planning to travel the world with. His name is Kevin, and he claims to be a businessman. He wanted to help Sue make money through an investment company he said he saw major growth in. Sue is now having doubts about the future of their relationship and if this investment company is legit after sending over $65,000 and her account now being locked on the company's website. Let's see if we can find some answers for her. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Hello, Social Catfish. My name is Sue. And I'm a nurse. I live here in Florida. I'm a Disney freak, as people at work call me. I have an annual pass and I go to Disney quite often. I met my husband. Actually, I met him online way back in the day when AOL had the little online chat thing. So that's kind of how my first foray into online dating was. It's just hard to talk about him because the past couple years of his life, unfortunately, were sad. He developed it's an early onset dementia and actually became a whole total different person. I decided at that time we'd tackle all the bucket list things that we could do, and we went on road trips, and I did a lot of stuff that we had always wanted to do, but we were going to do later on when I retired and that kind of stuff. So we go to car shows and, lots of fun things together. And then he didn't like to travel anymore after about a year and a half. So then I was just his caregiver at home. So
after being married for 20 years, Sue's husband passed away in March of 2022. This left her lonely. So she decided to pick up online dating and opened a profile on Christian Mingle.
One day I got this message from somebody named Kevin. He said, hi, and I said, hey, how are you? And then he asked, he wanted to know how old I was, and I wouldn't tell him. I said, if you can't tell by my picture, I can't help you. And then I actually said to him, it looks like you travel a lot. And then we talked about traveling. He asked me if I travel, and I said, yeah, I like to travel. I made mentions of the pictures on his Instagram that he had of sunset. We talked about that, and he said, oh, someday maybe you'll be able to take pictures of the sunset together. And I was like, oh, that would be nice. He was about 6 foot, like 5'12", 6 foot, because I said I was 5'4". Very dark hair. He has that Asian complexion. His eyes, you can tell by looking at him, he does. He has really fair skin and very, attractive looking in all of his different photos. He just had a mannerism about him. He would stand tall and, was very sure of himself. Always very well dressed, unless he was at the gym. And so he was in medical sales of equipment, so he told me. He called himself a philanthropist. And I think that people that do that are very nice people. So all of those qualities, as we were chatting, just became reasons for me to talk to him more, if you will. I finally made him guess my age, and, I told him how old I was, because Many people tell me I don't look my age. I give up my age when I tell people how long I've been a nurse or how old my children are. Ask me about my family. He knew I had children, and so he would always ask me how my children were doing. He always was just genuinely nice, always caring about me, asking me how I was, how my day went. It was nice after, so many years of not having a good conversation with somebody about how I was. It just kind of made me feel good about myself. So he had the way of doing that. I think it was about 10 days. He says to me, oh, do you feel that? And I go, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And he says, but I feel something. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And he goes, well, there's this feeling. And I didn't know if you had it also. He goes, I just have this feeling about you. And that's kind of how he forayed into that. He had deep feelings for me, and he cared for me, and he loved me. So shortly after that, probably a week later, he decided to call me his wife. We were going to be married. And it just developed from there. He would call me baby, and he called me his princess. I told him I didn't like to use the word queen because it was associated with scammers. And he goes, well, but I'm not one of those. And I go, well, okay, so but just don't call me your queen. I called him my prince. And I used to call him baby. We called baby back and forth a lot.
Sue and Kevin chatted for weeks, and they even planned to meet in person. The two would send voice messages back and forth every morning and night. Sue fell in love with Kevin's voice.
Baby, you're very nice. Thank you. I am very happy. Oh my god. I want to you. Yes? Baby, come on. You're very beautiful. I like you. I love you. Good night. See you tomorrow.
You call them the little voice messages that you can send. So he would send several of those when he was wanting to have, like a relationship that night, and we would chat back and forth, and then he would send me some video messages then, like a recording. So I have those. It was mainly just an Asian accent. Like I was, I like today I was going back and I listened to a couple of them, and I thought, no, it just sounds like it's Asian. I mean, that's what it sounded like. So, I mean, I don't know.
Things were going great with Kevin until he reached out to Sue about an investment opportunity. He claimed this is how he made all of his money, and he could do the same for Sue if she started investing too. He told her that they could use the money to travel the world together.
So the first time Kevin asked for money for investment was probably, we had been talking for about maybe 3 weeks, and he talked about that was how he got his money to be able to give back to the community. And I was just like, yeah, but I don't need to do that. And then it would be kind of, well, why not? This is a good thing. It took an awful long time. And I think I finally just go, okay, fine, I'll do it and see if I can make money. If I make money, I make money. So when you logged into this investment website, I think it was Chinese, Hong Kong based website. I actually was able to look it up, and that company was legit. So anyway, once you got verified and you could log in, you could see different transactions going on. There were I don't know if you call them tickers or whatever, but this person made this money, this person made that money. So that's on the front part of it. I had my account, so I could click on my account and I could see what my money was. There was a box for customer service. So anytime you had questions, that's how you would get that's how I got the wallet address to send the money to. I would say that, yes, I transferring, $1,000, and then the next time 500. Then when it got there, I would get an email saying that it was there, it had arrived, and then I could invest it.
After the first investment of $1,000, Sue saw her account grow by 30% in just 30 minutes.
And that's when he showed me how to withdraw it. So he goes, hey, I got to show you how to withdraw it off the platform. I think I did the 300 because I thought, well, I'll just leave that there because then I don't have to wire it back and forth. So I did 5,000 next. I believe I made, it went up to, it was 6 and it went to at least 7. And I thought, well, I saw that it worked.
Sue was excited about the growth she was able to see on the investment site. Kevin enticed her to invest $5,000 more, and within another 30 minutes, her account jumped to $7,000.
But I needed to increase my principal, if you will, on the account in order to make more money. And he said if I put in 50 grand, that I would then make, I think it was 20%. And through the course of talking, he knew that I had a retirement account and I had this and I had that. And so I said, well, I can see if I can do that. And I was actually able to withdraw it and ended up wiring that money to get it up to the $50,000. And true to form, it made, I think it was $17,000. So I thought, oh, this is really cool. He said, there's a way to make even more. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to make any more. This is sufficient. I'm happy with this. He goes, there's this way to do it. Ask the customer service about VIP accounts. He said, oh, you should do the gold level. So I ended up somehow, stupidly, I call myself, saying, okay, I'll do the gold.
Sue pulled money out of her savings and 401k to increase her principal on the investment site. Everything was going accordingly until she decided she wanted to pull some of the money out of the account.
My money was not able to be touched. I had to put in $100,000. Actually, I felt like I was threatened. That was when I realized that I wasn't getting any of my money back. He badgered me for the whole time. He became a different person. But if I didn't have it all in there by 7 days, then they were going to sue me and investigate me for fraud and put it out there that I was committing fraudulent activity. And that's when I became very disenchanted with Kevin and with everything that was going on. And I didn't know whether, I really just didn't know what to do. He was going to put in $65,000 if I could come up with the $35,000. And I was like, I just have no way to do that. And, he talked me into, I actually ended up getting a loan at my bank. I got an extension for 3 days to have time to put the money in. So all told, out of my own personal money, it was $65,000. And then the account grew to it was at $110,000 when it all got frozen.
After sending over $65,000 to Kevin, Sue hasn't seen any of her investment earnings and has doubts about Kevin being real.
But, it could turn out that he would. I don't, from listening to his voice on the recordings that he would send me, it was like an Asian voice, if you will. So, or what I thought was, so that's the part that is like, well, really, who is he and where was he? Was he really in, Los Angeles, or really is he one of the, where's the big place, Nigeria? Is that where a lot of them are from? That's, I guess, the part now that like, really, like, who was he and where was he? That's a mind-boggling part for me now. But, I'm okay. I'm not like a lot of people that every last cent that they have, they send.
The next day, our team got together to go over Sue's information. The first thing we went over was this website she was using to invest.
All right, so this is a website that Sue was investing in. As you guys know, Kevin was telling her to invest in this site, and he was telling her that she was going to get great returns. What do we think about this?
So we looked up who is on the website. So who is, if you create a website, you have to register your information. Well, they've given people an opportunity to do this anonymously through, third-party registrars. And so this website was registered about 4 months ago, but it was registered anonymously. So all the contact information directs to like an anonymous company that does this. One interesting thing, though, when we looked this up, is we looked up online. We were able to locate other people that were scammed using the same website. And we found 3 other websites using the exact same template. So somebody's taking this template, they're copying it, and they're creating a bunch of other sites. When we looked at the source code, so the source code is basically the code that the site's built with, we noticed a lot of Chinese writing. And so, whoever built the site, was most likely Chinese because all the annotations in the code were written in Chinese.
This case reminds me a lot of Brian's case. Pig butchering cases, they're very common. They're called pig butchering because they fatten these victims up.
They initially have you put a small amount of money in, and then when you request to pull money out, it works and you receive the funds. And so what that does is that establishes trust between you and the site and the person you're talking to, because you feel like this is legitimate. I put money in, I got money back, and then it entices you to continue to keep putting money in over time.
The website is designed to, there's member news that tells you how much people are profiting from their site. It just seems so, sleazy and pig butchery. From the information that we received from Sue, we also got this voice message.
Baby, you're very nice. Thank you. I am very happy. Oh my God. I wanted to you. Yes? Baby, come on. You're very beautiful. I like you. I love you. Good night. See you tomorrow.
This is a huge debate now.
It's an African person trying to sound Asian.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
I don't think so.
We're here.
I don't know if it's Nigerian or what country, but it's definitely sounding similar to that region.
Like looking at like the code, the source code on the website,
Yeah.
and a lot of these types of scams come from China anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I would say there's a high likeliness that the person is in China. Not saying that that's people can manipulate their voice, but because of like everything else and like historically these scams typically come from like Chinese scammers, I would assume it is, but yeah.
So when I went and I tried to get another Bitcoin wallet, they did say contact me back at 8 a.m. Hong Kong hours. So, which was kind of like, I don't know. All of those things, like the mix between the code and then them talking to me on the site.
Here's my question. If they were in Nigeria, would they tell you, contact me back at 8 a.m. Nigeria time?
Aha! Got you.
Scammers are known to try to mask their voices. What kind of accent do you think Kevin has? Let us know in the comment section below.
Baby, you're very nice. Thank you. I am very happy.
If we were going to find answers for Sue, the first thing we needed to do was verify this man in these photos. Bree and Virginia sat down and started to run searches.
So I talked to Sue earlier, and she's talking to an international philanthropist named Kevin.
Did she send pictures?
Just now. So I haven't seen them yet, so we can look at it together.
All right, let's see.
Alright.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay. All right, well, let's run a reverse image search.
Yeah.
See if we can find something.
So let's look up this picture. Whoa, more than 800 matches found.
We're going to have to sift through all these profiles he has.
Yeah. But we got this.
We got it. Let's do it.
Took us a long time, but I think we found him.
Nice. What did we find?
So, I think I have his Instagram up here. His name is Lewis, and he's actually a content creator on YouTube. He does fitness videos. Success.
The abs match.
Took us a while, but good old reverse image search.
We did it! Once again!
Our team felt we had enough answers to give Sue some clarity. We found the truth about this guy who claimed his name was Kevin. We even dug deep into this investment website, but make sure you stick around until the end. We'll talk to Sue about the information we found.
He said his name was Kevin, and then he said his Chinese name was, because he's from Hong Kong, was Chen Li.
We were able to trace the images back.
And we'll even get to talk to the customer service on this investment website. Someone had just sent money to that wallet 2 days ago.
That's terrible.
If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you so much. It was now time to sit down with Sue and reveal everything we found. Sue, how's it going?
Nice to meet you, Sue.
Hi.
You came to us to verify this man, and we have all the answers for you today. We'll hop into the searches we ran, David.
So, Sue, the first thing that we looked at was the phone number that you got. The phone number was what's called a VoIP phone number, which essentially it's an internet phone number, and anybody can have a VoIP phone number. So you can go to Google Voice, set it up on your cell phone really quickly, and then anybody from all over the world can call that number directly. And I can get an area code anywhere that I want. So if I want it in San Francisco or I want it in Miami Beach, Florida, I can have that. And so now you think that I'm attached to that area. That's not the case. And so this number was a VoIP phone number that you were contacting. One interesting thing, so we had pulled the website, and so we used some tools to view when the website was originally purchased, you know, when it went up, what it looked like when it went up over time. The first thing that we did is we looked at who owns the website, because that's the biggest telltale sign. And unfortunately with this, there was a privacy company that was used to register the website. And so when you register a website, you have to have contact details for that site. And so you can use a privacy service if you don't want your personal details out there. But what we were able to find, the website was recently created in January of this year. If you are, doing business with anybody online, it's important to know how long they've been in business for.
Yeah. And I guess for me, I would have to learn how, you can kind of look at that, because I wouldn't know.
Looking up who has information and looking at source code and some other things, it's pretty advanced stuff. It's not the stuff that most people know how to do, but those are telltale signs that we look at when we investigate these things.
Okay.
The other thing with the website are the reviews. And so we were able to find reviews online, and it had a 1 out of 5 rating. And somebody actually labeled the website as a scam. They said it was a scam. The website has a login, which is what you used. And then it also has a chat feature. And so we've seen a lot of this on other sites to validate, the site. And so Drew actually reached out to them through chat, and I'll let him walk you through.
So Sue, I reached out to them through the chat. Reaching out to you and my girlfriend. And I told them that my girlfriend, Jessica, wanted me to invest into this website. The customer service kindly got back to me. Maybe I can try to get a Bitcoin wallet out of them or something. We could search that. There it is. I got a Bitcoin wallet. And they sent me a Bitcoin wallet to get everything set up, which has raised a huge red flag for me, because normally if you're on a website, if you're doing business with a legitimate company, they're never gonna send you a Bitcoin wallet to, buy something or invest. What I did is I handed that Bitcoin wallet over to the search team. They searched it, and someone had just sent money to that wallet 2 days ago. By using our advanced Bitcoin tools, we are able to figure out how much money is in a Bitcoin wallet and the transactions. When Sue would invest money into this website, she would wire transfer into a Bitcoin wallet. We were able to find out that the Bitcoin wallet she was sending money to had over 41,000 transactions, and one of them was over $20,000. And what that tells us is this is a huge scam. You're not alone. You're not the only one surfing and going through this website. And you're also not the only person that sent money to this investment company.
That's terrible.
We looked at the source code on the website. So the source code is essentially the code that puts the site together. And when we looked at the source code, part of it was written in Chinese. So you can leave like annotations within code, and this code had Chinese in it. And so we tend to see a lot of business financial investment scams originate out of China, especially Hong Kong. And so as we continue to reveal information, you'll start to see why we think that more and more.
Based on our experience, specific types of scams tend to emerge from particular regions. For instance, a significant number of romance scams are traced back to West Africa, while many call center scams are associated with India. In Sue's situation, she unfortunately fell victim to a pig butchering scam, which predominantly originates in Asian countries. Although we may not have a definitive explanation on why certain regions become hotspots for particular scams, it remains crucial for us to be aware of these patterns so that relevant authorities can take appropriate action.
We were able to run a reverse image search. You had been talking to Kevin Chen Li, right?
Yeah, he said his name was Kevin, and then he said his Chinese name was, because he's from Hong Kong, was Chen Li.
We were able to trace the images back, and the guy in the image, his name is Louis O, and he's a fitness model and influencer and fitness trainer, and he has a large YouTube channel with over 2 million followers on it. So on his Instagram profile and his YouTube channel, he has tons of photos and videos. And so this person went and grabbed those photos and videos, and then they've been sending them to you this whole time.
Nice. Okay.
As we started to dig in on Luis, there were so many fake profiles all over the internet. He's a known face to be used in romance scams. We found profiles that go across Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, you name the website or the app, his face is probably on there. This was an expensive lesson for Sue. All she wanted was someone to travel the world with. She does plan on continuing to online date, so we set her up with some tools and some directions on where to report this scam.
Right, because I mean, like I said, I could see it, like you log in and you could see all the different people, and then what their activity was. So, I mean, on the surface, it looks legit, so.
But we do have some good news for you, like some somewhat good news for you, okay? So we were able to trace all the funds back into the wallets where they were deposited. So the money went back into Binance, which is an exchange that works with law enforcement. And so we were able to trace those funds. We know where they went. We have the deposits and the dates. And what we can do is we can give this over to law enforcement. So let's get you to file an IC complaint and then a complaint with your local FBI. We can get law enforcement involved and we can get them to file what's called a KYC request. And a KYC request, they have to hand over the identity of the person. And so just like if you were gonna create a bank account and you have to give your ID, your address, all this documentation, you have to do it on crypto exchanges now that are regulated in the United States. And then if they can trace the funds because they've been withdrawn, then you might be able to get some or maybe even all your money back.
Okay.
We're also gonna send you access to Unfraud. So we have this AI, it's an artificial intelligence tool that we built that you can drop messages, websites, phone numbers, emails, and it will tell you the likeliness of it being a scam or not. So it's like basically having us in your pocket at all times.
Okay, well that would be good because I think sometimes it's the words, and I did have an experience where I put pictures in and I found out he was a scammer. So, but even the conversations with this guy, I never would have figured it. I never would have thought that. So, so that would be helpful because I don't know.
We're going to be here with you and we're going to figure this thing out with you. Chris will reach out to you. We're going to compile all the information that we have and put it all in one doc and send it over to you. And then we'll talk a little later on today about getting everything reported.
Okay.
This is not the end for sure, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, all of our new videos go out every Wednesday, so please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, Seekers, we'll see you guys next time.